Hey everyone, today we're just going to touch on a quick flex feasibility pointer. If you're an investor and just trying to figure out what co-working or flex space could look like in your building. And forgive me for the sunglasses, as many of you know I'm on pat leave, and my son Logan, who's 4 months old, somehow got his nail and finger in my eye last night when I was feeding him. I was microwaving the milk and he scratched me good. And if anyone out there has kids, you know how sharp their fingernails are. So my left eye is gone. And it's not coming back anytime soon. So the sun is there to shield me from the light. But a quick one, right? When it comes to flex visas, right? And you're looking at your building and you're wondering what product mix is actually going to look into that floor, especially if you're thinking about doing it yourself. Just some really quick flex for thought. The density ratios that you apply when it comes to flex could range from 6 to, I would say, 8 square meters per workstation right now. And what does that mean? Basically what that means is if you've got a rule of thumb, if you've got like 1,000 square meter floor plate, or you've got a 2,000 square meter, a very quick test to see how many desks you might need within that floor plate is divide it by the 6 or 8. Okay, if we take the middle, let's say we take 7, you're going to get 140 desks and 280. Right, which sounds like a lot, probably more than you're used to, because when you look at a basic tenancy, if you're putting in a tenant in the asset, you're probably looking at closer to a 10 square meter per head count density. And that's important, right? Because you've got to accommodate bathrooms, fire escapes, all that kind of jazz, which is why when you think about co-working or flex immediately and you're going down the commercial model route where you need lots of desks to re-rent, you need to think about some of those facilities, amenities, and first off. So when you think about it, use the 7 for now, I think, because it used to be 6. WeWork used to go as low as 4.5 in some markets, which I know sounds crazy, but it's also because, the desks got really small so that they could fit more. I don't think they're at a 4.5 anymore, especially in a post-COVID world. We've been pushing closer to the 8 square meters per workstation angle, so that it's more spacious within the floor plans. So I think 7's a pretty good rule of thumb to pick. And when I say it's 7 square meters per workstation, it's not like a desk, has 7 square meters around it in terms of area. The 7 square meters actually is, a combination of, you've got your circulation, you've got the actual area around the desk. It also accommodates the amenities of the floor. So that's why you can divide the whole floor plan by the 7, because it's almost like a product mix rule of thumb number that a lot of operators use to kind of get how many desks they have on the floor, right? It's not necessarily how much space is around that desk. You're probably closer to not a 7, but a 3.5 or a 3 around the actual desk when you want to imagine what a desk looks like. Now, if we take the 140 desks example of the 1,000 square meter floor plate NLA, that used to be split as a 60-40 ratio to office to open plan, but it's now moved into more of a 90-10, frankly, where office is king, because the target demographic for flex especially is more enterprise style clients, not startups and small businesses, and they all want security, they want their own space, they don't want the open plan desks. Once upon a time, the 40 used to be thought as a feeder, almost like a conveyor belt, get people in when they're not so big, as a very small startup, only need 1 or 2 desks, and then they'll eventually grow and graduate into the offices, so the 40 moves into the 60, but that never really became a thing, which is why you're looking at more of a 90-10 split these days. So, this is important to understand, because as an investor, if you're thinking about doing co-working yourself or something like that, it's nice to understand the quantum of desks that you're going to be playing around with and pushing, right? And especially if these desks are broken into 5 to 10 person offices out of that 90 percentile, that's a lot of marketing, that's a lot of licenses, that's a lot of deals that you're doing. It's not just one customer you're putting in that space, right? There's a lot of small to medium customers. And the advantage of that is that you own that customer relationship, and if they grow, you can put them into spec suites or larger floors within your building. So that's kind of where that value proposition of not just flexibility, but targeting the smaller customers goes. One thing I'll touch on before I finish that I do think is important which helps when you're thinking about the mechanics of the space. You know, earlier the point I was saying, oh, you're probably used to a 10 square meter for normal tenants. So when you think about a 7, you're freaking out a little bit. The math, when you actually think about how many people are going to be within the co-working or the flex space, plays out. It's almost like 60% of the actual workstations that you're going to have. And the percentages, we can do another video on what that looks like, could be even, you know, lower. The nature of co-working in itself is that customer base, not everyone's going to be in the space at the same time, right? Because it enables hybrid work, it enables an element of flexibility. So not everyone's going to be at the space at the same time. So therefore, even though you design the space to have a capacity of 140 people plus within the 1,000 square meter floor plate, you may only be getting, you know, 60 to 50 of them in the space at any one time. Very similar to like, you know, a Fitness First or a gym. You know, they may oversell a large amount of those memberships and desks, but they only have a certain number of people in there at any one point in time, right? Which is why they can get away with some of the deals that they do. Similar to flex and co-working, but more, I guess, obvious, because even if you sold 140 physical memberships and you didn't oversell it because that's the capacity you had from the 7, again, with people coming in, sick days, annual leave, and you can even apply that to, you know, general tenancy densities and stuff like that, it's going to be lower. So when you have your mechanical engineers looking at the spot and whatnot, it's always best to have one look at it who's experienced in co-working and flex, because they get this, right? They know it's going to be not the 140 and the 1,000 square meter floor plate at any one time. And therefore they'll be more amenable to not requiring you to put in too many extra toilets or all that kind of stuff, because they get it, right? So hopefully that was helpful. And that's just a flex feasibility point. I tried to do a tick there, but I ruined it. Getting used to this iPad. Pointer. Flex feasibility pointer. Hopefully that was helpful.